not much. We're not going to do too much like flowing yoga. We're going to do more of like a stretch, an opening of the body, an opening of the shoulders, an opening of the hips, a loosening up of the legs. And then it's going to be a very deep focus on strength, core, cows, some high energy stuff as we get towards the back part of this workout. But right now, it's all about just getting grounded to our yoga mat, getting ourselves centered, getting ourselves ready to work over this next 45 minutes. We find our way back to our child's pose to get started here, where my arms are outstretched in front of me. My hands are almost scraping back against that yoga mat. I allow the crown of my head to come down to that yoga mat. And we take about 3 to 5 breaths right here. Like I said, getting ourselves grounded, starting to center our focus around what we want to accomplish over this workout, what we want to accomplish over this 45 minutes, which is just to become a 45-minute better version of ourselves, whether that's just a little bit happier, a little bit healthier, a little bit more at ease, whatever it may be. But we're here right now. So we start to practice that positive self-talk right away, right out of the gate, that gratitude, that self-gratitude for showing up to this workout, and we get ready to take as much as we can out of it and forward from here. From this child's pose, let's come forward to a neutral tabletop position here. And right away, I want to just start to loosen up the hips a little bit. So I want to come to that fire hydrant on my right side where I bring my right knee up and out to the outside of my yoga mat and then right back down. Down and up we go. Like I said, we're going to focus on an opening up of the hips, an opening up of the legs, an opening up of the shoulders from various different positions over this warm-up. But for those of us taking this class live right now, it's Wednesday night. We're over halfway through the week right now. If we count those 3 days of work in our rear view mirror, we look to make the rest of our week the best of our week, and that all starts right here with this workout. Switch sides if you haven't already. We come to that left side, up and out, not trying to come up too high or with too much force here at first. Just listening to that body, seeing where we are right now. And again, might not be able to make any crazy changes over this 45 minutes. But we're looking for those slight angles to the right direction. That positive self-talk right out of the gate. Down and relax. Now, like I said, we open up the hips a little bit with those hydrants. Now we want to bring a focus to the arms, where I want to come up and down, bring that right arm up towards the sky, and then come all the way down to the ground. Let's find a still stretch here. Bring my right shoulder and my right ear down to the yoga mat. We find some stillness after our movement. So the movement was by way of those hydrants for the hips. The stillness here, I'm feeling a good stretch through my back, a good stretch through my shoulder, but also those hips that I was just focusing on with that movement, I'm feeling good in this still position as well. We took 3 to 5 breaths in that child's pose to get started. We're going to try to match that 3 or 5 breaths here. Down to the ground. Ease your way up, and then come into that same equal and opposite stretch on the other side. So first, see what it feels like to come all the way up towards the sky. And then on our exhale, we come down to the ground. We let that left shoulder, that left ear come down to the yoga mat. We extend that right arm out in front of us. And we find that stillness in this position once again here. Again, starting to focus on that positive self-talk right out of the gate here. What we focus on grows. So if we focus on something negative, how shitty this week has been so far, or if you missed a workout, or if you missed a meeting at work, if you start to focus on that stuff, those negative thoughts will grow. We try to let those negative thoughts come in, we notice them, and then we let them go right out get out from between those ears on the other side. From stillness, we come back to movement now. So I'm in that neutral tabletop. Gentle movement. It's just a cat-cow. Inhale, drop that pelvis, look down between the legs, let that head just hang. Exhale, round the back and look forward. Come through that about 8 to 10 times and exaggerate that motion, that movement with each rep that you come through. Just picking up the baby about an hour ago, and my upper back just kind of gave me a little, hey, what are you doing here? And that's kind of how my back has been over the last couple of years, is where everything's feeling good, everything's doing great, and then one little thing. One time I was taking a bite of a sandwich and I threw my back out. One time I sneezed. This time it was just picking up Ruby, and it gave me a little question, but nothing bad happened. And usually what keeps me from anything worse coming along is keeping a focus on my routine and practice of yoga. So I'm going to try to incorporate that a little bit more into my routine, and that's by way of these boot camps, but that's also by way of getting my own practice in too. So I encourage you to as well. Let's come back to that child's pose, but now we look to keep that method of movement going forward. So from my child's pose is where I want to take my inhale. My exhale, I want to flow forward and let those hips drop all the way down to the mat. Look up towards the sky. It's a deep exhale. Inhale, we come right back to that child's pose. Moving according to your own breath. So the idea is I want to try to hold that inhale for as long as I can while I'm in that child's pose. Then that exhale starts and I hold that exhale for as long as I can while I come forward to that upward facing dog. It's almost that frog stretch that we look for sometimes with wide knees. Each time that you come forward now, feel free to maybe look over the left shoulder this next time while we feel that right hip lengthen a little bit. Then same thing on that other side, back into that child's pose in between. Start to incorporate that movement a little bit more. And then find that stillness in that tabletop once again here. Stillness, my back is flat, my hips are neutral. Let's shift that body weight to the right side a little bit. And this time, I want to peel open my left hip and then come right down, almost sweep the ground, give yourself a pat on the back at the bottom. A little bit more movement here with the arms, with the shoulders. We're going to do this movement a couple of different ways before we get started into our strength work. So that left arm comes up and then down, exaggerating that movement. The eyes are following the thumb up towards the sky at the top of that movement. Good. Pause and switch sides. Same thing on that other side. That right hand comes down, pats us on the back, telling us we're doing a good job so far. Good job this week. Good job this workout. Good job right now. And keeping that focus on that positive. Up and down we go. Feeling those hips. Still getting a little bit of attention out of here. We only did the hydrant so far. But we're going to get some more movement out of them soon. And that comes right from here. Neutral tabletop, still. Shift that body weight to the right side. Bring that left knee off the ground. Bring that left knee to the elbow first. And then I want you to curl it around, keeping that knee bent at 90 degrees. Come nice and wide. And then come right back, knee to elbow. Focusing on opening up that hip and bringing that heel across the body and behind. That knee is coming forward to the elbow. And then now we even let that knee come in between the hands at the front. And then exaggerating that movement a little bit more at the back. We feel that glute, we feel those hamstrings a little bit from this movement. But if you're anything like me, those hips are tight. That's what's getting the most out of this movement for me. Switch sides, same thing on that other side. Shift that body weight to the left. Right knee comes to that right elbow for the first couple of reps. We peel that top hip open. It's almost like that downward facing dog when we go to that three-legged dog and we open up those hips from that downward facing dog position. But this time it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to maintain from this tabletop position. Exaggerate that motion a little bit more now. And come back to that child's pose once again now, finding that nice, comfortable resting position into that child's pose. The arms are outstretched in front of us. Hands scraping back against that yoga mat once again here. 3, maybe 4 or 5 breaths here, depending on how fast or slow you are breathing. But bringing that focus to the right now, the attention to where you are right now. One more inhale here, exhale. We find that neutral, upward facing dog, that comfortable upward facing dog. My knees are on the mat still. My elbows are towards my rib cage. The front side of my body is open as much as it can be, from the hips right through the shoulders. The back side of that body is trying to close off. Inhale, exhale. Let's push back to a downward facing dog for the first time here. In this downward facing dog, we find stillness here at first. And the cue that I give you is a cue that I need to hear myself, where I shift my body weight back towards my heels, almost allowing my belly to rest right on my quads. With a generous bend in the knees, that becomes easier to do. The stillness is where we start, and then just walk that dog in place a little bit right here. Bending that right knee, then that left is where we want to be to start here.
While we're here now, I want to find that stillness. And I want to raise my right leg up towards the sky and peel that top right hip open.
From here, I want to step into warrior one. Stick that warrior one, but we only stick it for one big deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. Let those hands drop down, but then come right back up with that right foot and stack those hips again before stepping into warrior one on that same side. I want to get some repetitions out of this so that each time that we step forward, it becomes a little bit easier for that right foot, a little bit easier for that right hip. Hands come down, up to that downward facing dog. That right hip is still high. Right foot to that right hand. Stick that warrior one. Down. One more time here. Up and stack those hips. Peel those hips open. Step that right foot to the right hand. Warrior one. But now I want to come into a crescent lunge and drop that back knee down. So my left knee is in back. I'm on the top of my left foot there. I want to be comfortable here. Into this stretch. I'm on my hands on the inside of this forward front right leg. And then I want to get one more focus on opening up those shoulders. So from here, my right hand is right on the inside of my right calf, my right foot. And my left hand is turned in, facing in towards my right forearm. And I want to try to follow that thumb up towards the sky gently before coming right back down. Up and down we go, but not exaggerating that motion too much now, feeling that stretch perhaps in this front right groin, but also it's this shoulder, this left pec that is getting open at the top. Land that left hand down, step that right knee back, land into that child's pose. See how different that child's pose feels now, as it is a position of recovery from some movement that we just incorporated for the first time. That hip might be really feeling it now in this child's pose. Inhale, exhale, flow forward, let those hips drop down towards the mat. Again, feel how different the body feels after that little bit of stress added to it. Inhale, exhale, push back to that downward facing dog. Find that stillness right away in this downward facing dog before raising that left leg up, inhaling it open. Step that left foot to the left hand. Warrior one on this side, sink down deep into it. Same progression that we went through it on that other side. We need to get in on this left side now. So that left foot comes back up nice and high and peeled open. Left foot to that left hand, warrior one. That's 2 times through it. We want to get another 2 or 3 times, depending on how fast you're coming through it. But stack those hips at the top. Stick that landing at the bottom. Arms up. One more time. Up and open. Foot to hand. Warrior one. Drop down to the hands. Drop that back knee. Let that top of that right foot come down onto the mat as well. My left hand is parallel with my left shin. I turn that right hand in to meet that left wrist, and I peel open here at the top. Up and down we go again. Nice and easy at first. Paying attention to how your body's feeling. Good, land that right hand down, push back to that child's pose, and then I want you to roll over onto your back for the first time now. Hugging our knees to our chest. It's the tail end of this warm-up version of this workout before we get to that strength, core, cal focus that we'll come to next. Hugging my knees up to my chest, maybe getting some movement in, rocking side to side, using the weight of the legs to almost massage that spine. See how those hips, how those legs are feeling. Let those feet land down flat, and then let those knees collapse down to the right side. As I do, I want my hands to collapse down to the left side, so it's the opposite of where those knees are. It's almost a little bit of a spinal twist here, where I want to bring those knees back up. My feet are flat, my hands are up. My hands come down to the right side, my knees collapse to the left side. Stay here for a stretch. See how that feels. Now at your own pace, you can come back through center and then go back and forth from side to side here as the knees collapse to the right, the arms collapse to the left.
We go back and forth, but again, not too fast. This isn't an explosive movement by any means. It's a controlled movement. Well, we're getting that whole body ready for movement here. Hug those knees up to the chest, tail end of this stretch. I want to let both knees now, my feet are off the ground. I want to let both knees collapse down to my left side. Almost a fetal position here. I want my left hand, that bottom shoulder, to almost apply a little bit of pressure to my knees. My right arm is going to come straight up towards the sky and then collapse down and open that body. Got a good little spinal twist here. But I want to get some movement into this stretch, so I want to bring that right hand all the way back down, almost plant that hand to the ground before coming back up. And once again, I want to bring that focus of the sight of my eyes staying right on this thumb as I open up here to the top. It's going to give me that good stretch through that upper back, the shoulders. The more I'm able to open up this, get this back of this right hand down to the ground, the more of a stretch I'm getting through that pec and shoulder on this right side. Let's switch sides here. Hug those knees up at that neutral position again, once again to reset. Let those knees collapse down to the right side. Let that left arm come out and then peel open all the way down to the ground if you can, or as far as your body allows you to, and then come back down. Follow that thumb with the eyes, peel it open at the top. 5 or 6 more reps here, looking for 8 to 10 reps total. And we are ready to get to our first strength circuit of the day, right from this flat back position. Our first 3 movements are going to be an upper body strength movement, a lower body strength movement, a core strengthening movement. So I want you to lean over, grab your dumbbells, get ready for a flat back chest press, coming right from this laying down flat position, knees bent, feet flat. The triceps will touch the ground at the bottom of each movement. And we're going to shoot for anywhere between 12 and 15 reps. No timer for this first circuit. We are ready to get going. We are ready to tackle this workout, tackle this middle part of this week. Ready, set, let's get after it here. Chest press, up and down we go. I bring a little bit of focus to the descension of these dumbbells. Down with a purpose, control up with a purpose. Anywhere between 8, 10, 12, or 15 reps, depending on the dumbbells that you have. If you're at 15 now, you can let those weights down. I want to get a double leg bridge in here. And the way that I want to do it is by taking a dumbbell or 2 and stacking it right down on my hips to apply some resistance to these bridges. You can hold the hands here as well. We come up, we hold, then down. 3, down, your own pace now. We are looking to hold that rep at the top slightly. Feeling those hamstrings, feeling those glutes. Getting that dumbbell up towards the sky. Good. Let that weight down. Dead bugs is our core strengthening movement. My knees are bent. My knees are straight up over my hips. My arms are straight up over my shoulders here. As my right leg extends, my left arm comes up overhead. I get as long as I can be here, and I come back to neutral. Other side goes, left leg, right arm, hold it. Back to neutral. Other side, we go, right arm, left leg. Back to neutral. Switch sides. Your own pace now, trying to get that body as long as we can get it. Done. That is what this first circuit of the day looks like. Let's grab those dumbbells. Let's get back to that chest press. 12, 15, maybe even 20 reps. If those weights were easy for you last time. Ready, set, let's go. Single leg bridge now. Or you could stay with the double leg bridge and keep that weight on you. But I'm gonna go to a single leg bridge where my left leg is extended straight up towards the sky, and I use the strength of my left leg to drive from the heel. Up and down we go. Holding it at the top still. Down in control. As soon as that butt touches the ground, we are back up. 10 reps on each side is what we're looking for here. Switch sides if you haven't already. Another 8 to 10 reps on that other side. Let's get after it here. Dead bug, same form as that first time, right? Arms are straight up over my shoulders, knees are straight up over my hips. Right arm and left leg extend, back to neutral, switch sides, your own pace now, let's go. Time, we are back to that chest press, third and final set. Right after it, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Back to those bridges. We did a single leg bridge. I didn't use a dumbbell last time for this third set. I'm going to try a single leg bridge while holding that dumbbell on my hips once again. So my left leg is out straight. Bridge those hips up, down and up we go. Your own pace. 8 to 10 reps. Switch sides. Weight down, we gotta finish up. Those dead bugs, right arm overhead, left leg out in front of us, and we switch sides last time through it. Let's do it. Time, first circuit of the day is done now. We got 30 seconds to recover. We're gonna up that energy a little bit with this second circuit of the day. Drinking some water if you need it. Making our way up to standing. We got some standing hammer curls coming for this first circuit of the day. First circuit for the arms of the day. Standing hammer curls. We are to a 30-second timer for this circuit. We are gonna toast the arms with the second circuit of the day, all right? 30 seconds, hammer curls, 15 reps is what we are looking for, and we are right to it right now. Feet are shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit closer. Dumbbells right up to those shoulders. No swinging of those hips. 12 to 15 reps, we're off and running now. Let those weights down gently if you need to, but we're coming right back to a shoulder press, palms facing forward, split stance. Again, 12 to 15 reps. Let's go. Woo! 15 tough there coming off of those biceps. Hammer curls, shoulder press, mountain climbers, getting that energy up. Only one set of them, only 20 seconds of them. We are off and running, let's go.
Time. That gives us 10 seconds to recover. And get ready for set number 2 here. Hammer curls is where we start. 3, 2, 1. Set number 2, let's do it. Well, the 15 reps, toasting those arms, they're feeling it from those mountain climbers as well. But especially from those curls, and especially from these shoulder presses. Set number 2, let's do it. Oh, I didn't stop at 12 there. As promised, only one set of those mountain climbers. Jumping jacks coming back, 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. It's just about that movement right now, being light on our feet, being cautious with our bodies. But it's this active recovery that we're focused on. We got 10 seconds to fully recover now before that third set. Hammer curls, set number 3, third and final. Let's do it. Form focused in this third set. Talk to those biceps. We want to find failure. We want to find failure, and we want to find it in here. Go to those hammers. Shoulder presses. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Oh, 12 gets tough for me there. Last 30 seconds of this circuit. We went mountain climbers, then jumping jacks. We got our burpees coming up now. 3, 2, 1. Low impact, it's high plank, wide feet, stand tall. If you can't do this, do something else. If you can't do something, do something else. If you can't do these, step back to a high plank, then step up to standing and give yourself credit for modifying it, making adjustments when you need to. Time, we are recovering. Let's go. We got that energy up now. We're moving right along here. Giving that core, giving those cows a little bit of a break. We got great strength work coming up on this next buzzer. We want to tackle the legs. We want to tackle the back. We want to tackle the triceps. Bent over rows is where we start. Flat back, right? Not rounded here. Flat back, hinge at the hips, and we drive the elbows straight up and down. Let's give that a shot now. We are up and running. It's bent over rows. 12 reps. Maybe 15 if the dumbbells are feeling light, but I don't want any pace to this. I don't want you flying through it. I don't want you done in 10 or 15 seconds. I want you utilizing all 30 seconds here with these bent over rows. Before getting ready for a weighted sumo squat, palms facing each other, wide feet, toes slightly out, down and up, down and up. Again, trying not to round that spine at all. Perpendicular to the ground with that upper body. 10 or 12 reps here should be plenty. Feeling the feet engage into that yoga mat, engage into that earth. That's where our strength comes from. It starts there, then it makes its way all the way up our body. Ready for overhead tricep extensions. Hinge at the elbows with a single dumbbell or 2 dumbbells, and then press that dumbbell or those dumbbells up towards the sky.
It's the hinge of the elbow that is important in this movement. Great strength work with this circuit. That means we're back to those bent over rows. Stick that starting position carefully. 2, 3, 4, 5, get 12. From those bent over rows to those sumo squats. Form, focus through everything that we do. Sticking it the whole time. There's our start right there. Overhead tricep extensions, really stick that form here. Think about those triceps. Think about the back of that upper arm. Pressing those weights straight up towards the ceiling. (12 to 15 reps. 2 sets down. Third and final set. Bent over rows. 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Woo! Done with those bent over rows. Crossing stuff off our list here. Bent over rows. Sumo squats coming back. Tail end of this third set. This third circuit of the day. Down and up strong with those legs. (12 to 15 reps. Overhead tricep extensions. Third and final set. 12 to 15 reps. Let's do it. Control all the way through the tail end of this third set. This third circuit of the day. And we are moving right along. Earning ourselves that recovery between circuits. Earning every breath of it because we don't get many of them. Practice that positivity all the way through. 30-second straight recovery. Coming back with more strength and core. Upper body focus coming on this next buzzer. We're ready for a set of push-ups. A good set of push-ups where I want 30 seconds, as many as we can, all right? 30 seconds, max reps push-ups. Keeping your focus on your form and getting as many as we can. Let's get ready to go here. 30 full seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go. Going all the way through this buzzer. Let's go. We got some. I want to bring it's a tough transition. We are up to standing for bicep curls. Really tough transition. Looking for 12 reps. Maybe 15 of them if you're still feeling strong, but controlled pace. Down and up with that purpose here. 12 reps is plenty. It's tough going from 30 full seconds of push-ups, max reps of push-ups, into another upper body strength movement. Come into a seated position, taking a dumbbell down with you. It's a seated twist with a chop. Wide grip with these dumbbells. It's here to here. Here to here. My feet are off the ground. That makes it tougher. You could try it with your feet on the ground. Lean back at that almost 45-degree angle and get those arms up. Twist that upper body. Only 10 push-ups now. Slow. Slow on the way down. Up to the purpose. 1, 2, for 10 or whatever you can get. Hey, 9.5. We're up for those curls once again. Bicep curls. Let's do it. 12 reps. Woo, find that failure. Stop when you need to. Then get back going. Find a new position of failure. A new level of failure. Seated twist with that dumbbell chop. If it's too tough with a dumbbell, do it with just your hands. Interlocked fingers. Two sets down. 1 set to go. We are back to our push-ups. We are back to burning them out. Find a failure. Ready? As many as you can. Let's do it. Find failure. Go from your knees when you need to, but keep the integrity of that push-up. Hips are back, hips are down. Knees are back. Let's go. Done with those push-ups. Curls. Last time. Modify when you need to. Go to alternating curls or a single dumbbell with 2 arms. And that med ball, seated shot, last 30 seconds of this circuit. Down to it now. Earning that recovery. You got it now. 30 seconds of it. Oh, even that water ball is getting heavy on me now. Toasting those arms. Real tough circuit coming up here. We're at the tail end of this workout. Only 2 sets through each circuit that we do. 2 sets only. Our first movement is skull crushers, flat back. Flat parts of the weights next to each other, laying down flat. Those weights come down slightly overhead and then press up towards the ceiling. 12 to 15 reps is where we want to be. Reps or whatever you can get. You want to come to a high plank with an alternating arm row. High plank with an alternating arm row. Weights, hands are on the weights on the dumbbells. I drive my left elbow up. I drive my right elbow up. Keeping the integrity of this high plank as best you can. Off until we go. Going for 30 full seconds. And then the tough part of this circuit is right away on this buzzer, we go into mountain climbers. Your weights could stay on the dumbbells. When that buzzer hits, we go right to our mountain climbers. Let's go. Far and wide between those feet. We're off and running now. over onto our backs. Less than 10 seconds to go. Ready for those skull crushers. Hinge at the elbow. Press those weights up. Only 2 sets here, so stick that form. Oh, I'm finding that failure. High plank, alternating arm row. Last minute of this circuit just started with that buzzer. Let's do it. Again, tough transition from this high plank right into our burpees. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Wide feet as we stand tall. Time. Earning that recovery. One last circuit to go. Last 3 minutes of our day. Coming up here. Giving yourself that credit for showing up so far. Now it's all about finishing strong. Standing upright rows, palms facing in. Leading with those elbows straight up the body. You know it's been a tough workout that when I just showed you that, I'm already feeling that in my arms with no dumbbells. So feel free to use a single dumbbell if you need to. Up and down we go. Controlled pace the whole time. "12 reps is plenty here. We are ready to let the legs help us out here a little bit. A loaded squat to press. Loaded squat to press. 2 dumbbells if you can. 1 dumbbell if you need to. Palms facing each other. Dumbbells on those shoulders. Squat right into that press. Right back down, up with that purpose. Onto our backs. Holding a single dumbbell the wide way. I want to see 90-degree leg raises. Palms facing each other, arms are straight. 30 full seconds. Last set of the day. Making our way up to standing. Started off with those upright rows. Our last 90 seconds of the day. We want to bring our focus back to what we started with. Positive thoughts. Some gratitude directed at ourselves. Give yourself that credit that you showed up. Give yourself that credit that you put the work in. Then let that gratitude turn into encouragement to do the same tomorrow. To do the same for somebody else. If you can. Spread the wealth. Squat and press. Last minute of this day. Just started right there. Fluid. Strength through the lower body. Strength through the upper body. Inner strength, positivity. The whole 9 through this workout. Last set of those 90-degree leg raises. But we add in a dumbbell press as well. Arms are straight. It's a 90-degree leg raise, then a dumbbell push up towards those feet. And again, that gratitude comes in many different ways. That positive self-talk, it's tough to do every once in a while, But even when you find yourself going down that rabbit hole of negative thoughts, negative emotions, negativity in general, try to pause yourself and remember that we try not to multiply our mistakes. We try not to compound anything negative that we're going through. So if you missed a workout yesterday, you can leave that behind you. You got a good workout in today. You use that as motivation for tomorrow. And you use that to encourage someone else to do it too. Motivation loves company just like misery. So find someone to share it with, huh? Good work, guys.
Whew, thanks, Thomas. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys. Great job.
Awesome, thank you.